Okay, welcome back. It has dawned on me that one of my only popular videos on this channel is the one where I show off fighting Kulex with all the characters at level 30 and with a really good loadout, super suit, lazy shells. So I thought now I would do the same thing a few years later against Smithy. So just a very quick look, all my characters level 30. And we got Mario with the Lazy Shell Super Suit Attack Scarf, Bowser with Drill Claw Heal Shell and Rare Scarf, and Princess with the Frying Pan, the Lazy Shell, and the Jinx Belt. I wasn't sure whether or not to go with the Jinx Belt or the Quartz Charm. But as you can see, I've got like all the really good items like Scrooge Ring, Coin Trick, Ghost Medal, the Feather, one of my favorite items. In fact, even though it's not really necessary, we'll just go ahead and give Mallow the Feather, because even though we're not using him in battle. Unfortunately, there is a lot of text at this point of the game. We're going to go ahead and show off beating Smithy, who, much easier than Kulex, especially when your characters are this overpowered. Something I wanted to run by the handful of regular subs I have is I am considering doing a couple of live streams, you know, maybe something on the SNES Classic Mini or the NES Classic Mini. Or I could even live stream some of the games, the NES games on my HDMI modded Kevtris. So if that's something, maybe we'll try it on this weekend, maybe on Sunday night. Let me know what you think. And this first portion of the battle, we're just going to focus on Smithy. We're not going to bother with the smelter. But this first part of the boss battle shouldn't be difficult. Shouldn't take long. Mario's so overpowered now that I have the Lazy Shell and the Super Suit and the Attack Scarf. And for those of you who maybe aren't as familiar with the game, the Super Suit armor, insanely difficult to get. I have gotten it maybe 4 times in my life, and it is a nightmare to get. You have to do 100 super jumps in a row, which requires unbelievable timing. Yeah, that first part of the boss battle, very fast, very easy. I think the first time I got the Super Suit, back in the early 2000s on an authentic cartridge, and I just had to, it's one of those things that you really have to commit to it. You have to have time to devote to it. You have to get comfortable. really focus, eliminate all distractions. That cartridge eventually, sadly, got sold because when I was in my early 30s, or excuse me, late 20s, went through some rough financial times. Eventually bought the cartridge back, which meant doing it all over again. And then, you know, a few years back when I got the SNES Mini, I was like, all right, this is the last time I'm doing it. And the good news is, even though the battery might eventually die on my SNES cartridge, the SNES Mini, the data is, as far as I know, much more permanent. So the save file I have on here, where all I have to do is talk to the chest in Monstro Town and get the super suit, that's a permanent save file. Alright, first things first. Princess is going to... We have one of just about every great item. We will use the bracer. We'll give it to Bowser, so his defense is a little bit better. The only thing is, I believe Smithy has a shredder, so he can take away all your upgrades. Alright, now we are going to use a red essence. We're going to boost Mario's attacks. Or I'm sorry, that's not what the red essence does. Energizer, that's the one we want to use. He's probably about to use Shredder. We will use Rock Candy. Oh good, we got a freebie, so we can use it again. This is the only battle I ever really use items on. Alright, this ought to end everything pretty quickly. Maybe one more turn or two ought to do it. Ah, there goes Shredder. There goes all our upgrades. And that's the game. So what is my biggest criticism of this game? I think I've mentioned it before, but my only... It's a really good gateway game. Noob. Turn-based RPG. JRPG, whatever. What I wish this game had was... Because they really did kind of make it kind of a SNES swan song. But I wish that they had gone just a little bit harder, like instead of Malo and Geno, maybe like Link and Samus, maybe Kirby. Like make it an all-out, like, you know, Nintendo character mash. Or why not have Luigi in the game? I know he leads the parade and he's got his wish on Star Hill and that's it, but... You know, it would have been kind of cool to play as Luigi. He always misses out. I know the Super Mario RPG remake came out. No desire to play it whatsoever. I am perfectly fine with the SNES version. I am not doing the 100 super jumps in a row again, just because it's a remake. From what I understand, it's a very faithful remake. The remake I do want to play is Link's Awakening. The Link's Awakening remake and maybe the Metroid 2 remake. Those look good. Those are ones that I'd like to get around to at some point. My backlog of games that I want to play is it's growing. You know, I do want to do Dead Space 2 at some point. Never played any of the Dead Space games, but I hear 2 is great. I own a copy, just haven't gotten around to it. I have the English translation of Mother 3, you know, the sequel to Earthbound. I've had it for years, still haven't gotten around to it. That's one that I feel like I'm close to getting around to. You know, each one of these games just represents such a massive investment in time. You know, and I really do want to commit to them. Contra 4 on the DS. I need to get a DS first, and then maybe I can play Contra 4. That's one that I'd like to. That one looks like a much more simpler pick up and play, less of an investment in time. You know, the two that are really kind of bugging me, because I feel like I really do want to play them. You know, it wasn't that long ago when I did finally get around to playing Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, Game Boy DX version, the deluxe version. And I enjoyed it. And I also did Metroid 2, Metroid Fusion, Zero Mission, and Minish Cap. And I was really enjoying going through all these old Game Boy Color or Game Boy SP games. And I wanted to get around to Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, but I just, you know, things picked up at that point and, you know, didn't get around to them. And I had a copy of Oracle of Ages, but I don't know what happened to it. So at some point, I do want to pick up a copy of Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. Wario Land 3, that one looks like a much faster pick up and play, so I'd like to get around to that one. Still haven't gotten around to Metroid Dread. That's on my list. And then if you know of a good Metroidvania, I think Blood Moon. You know, I've done Symphony of the Night, and I've, for the most part, enjoyed it. I don't think it's as great a game as a lot of retro gamers claim it to be. It's really, really good, but I don't think it's the best ever. So I would like to try another Metroidvania though, and I think Blood Moon is supposed to be a pretty good one. So not sure if it's Blood Moon or Aria of Sorrow, but one of those is supposedly a more of a linear, traditional Castlevania style game. This is quite a long ending. You know, you would think that this is the ending screen, but no, now we have the... I mean, they really went all out with this ending. We got a really nice victory parade led by Luigi. His only appearance in the game. And I did buy the fireworks in Moleville, so there will be some fireworks at the end. Now, I have crossed off some games that were on my list, for the most part. Like, I haven't finished Donkey Kong Country 2, but I'm most of the way. I think I'm well over halfway into the game, and plus, I think at this point I've played enough of it that I'm pretty satisfied. I know it just gets so brutally hard, but it is fun, so I do feel... I'm going to continue to play it off and on, but I do feel satiated that I have given it a fair shot. Haven't done that with Donkey Kong Country 3, but I hear that one is much more difficult and a little more frustrating. One game that is on my list is Gradius 3. I am absolutely terrible at space shooting games. You know, the Gradius games, Life Force. But just for the sake of having a really good one, I think Gradius 3 is often talked about as being one of the better ones. That and maybe R-Type, but I think I'd like to go all out, because it is a popular series. I would like to get into Gradius, so at some point I do want to give Gradius a fair chance. In summation, I've got a lot of games on my backlog, and unfortunately a lot of those I won't be able to upload any footage of, because those handheld games, you know, I have no idea how to... I think there might be a way to do, like if I was to do the Zelda 2 remake, I could probably do that on the Switch. I was even thinking of, because they do have hard copies on the Switch, physical copies of AVGN Adventures 1 and 2. How would y'all feel about that if maybe that's what we'll stream, is I'll pick up a hard copy of those games and we'll give those a shot. There's also quite a few games I need to finish on this channel. This day to night transition, very cool with everything lit up. But I do need to finish A Link to the Past. I barely scratched the surface on that Jurassic Park game on the 360. I'll get into that at some point. Get back into it, rather. Metroid is definitely on my list to finish. Maybe Super Castlevania 4. Yes, I'll finish that one too. That one might not make for a good video, though, because I'm at the point of the game where I'm probably going to lose a lot of lives. I don't think I'll finish Donkey Kong Country on the SNES Mini, that video series, just because that I know I'm at the point where I would just die over and over again. It wouldn't be fun to watch. Super Mario World. I don't think I finished that one, did I? I will at the very least, finish the big three on the SNES Mini: Super Mario World, Metroid, and A Link to the Past, and probably Super Castlevania 4. I think the more fireworks you buy at Moleville, the more of a fireworks show you get at the end. Alright, so that's that. Just a rant about the backlog, future plans, etc. So, not sure what we'll be doing next, but... oh, one more ditty. I think this one just goes on and on. So, we'll go ahead and stop right here. So, thanks for swinging by. And we'll see you again real soon.